Man, I really appreciate you coming out here, get a chance to see our facility here. We got pool, got ping pong, see we even got like a little golf simulator over here.
No
it's
way.
A little golf simulator over here. Yeah.
I need to take some pictures.
Yeah.
Take them back to the Cardinals.
It's crazy because last year, my first year here with the team was the first year they had opened up this practice facility, and it is unbelievable. Eat over there, food, got massage rooms.
You guys sell memberships?
AJ, what's up, man?
All right, man.
Sorry I can't give you my right hand right now.
No worries.
In due time. In due time.
Indeed.
I really appreciate you being here.
Glad to be here, man.
So first, I just want to start off with family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what was it like growing up in your household with all the athletes?
Competitive, extremely competitive. Obviously, my two brothers both being in the league now.
Which is sick, just for the
unbelievable.
record. You just say that like
it's crazy, man. It's crazy because we literally used to play in the front yard. Obviously, me being the oldest, I used to beat up on them a bit, probably, which I take credit for turning them into some athletes. But it was truly competitive. It was wild. My parents started us out in hockey when we were young, and I truly believe that
that's
one of the
Wisconsin
reasons,
thing.
Yeah. One of the reasons that we're successful. So I started skating when I was 3 years old. So when I was 3 years old, I was trying to balance myself on ice on this little itty bitty blade. And I think that taught me, you know, some core strength, some ability to handle my body in space, how to move around, how to balance, how to coordinate yourself. And my brothers and I, we all played hockey. That was our number one sport.
Never knew that. Y'all just wanted to hit people. I get
it.
That's it.
So we'd go in the basement, we'd have these mini sticks where we'd get on our knees and we'd play hockey and we'd bang around, and the basement walls took a beating. We broke through some basement walls. We had to pay for some drywall with chores and things like that, but always competitive, always trying to win. I didn't take it easy on them. They'd cry for a second, get back up and get back in the game. It was always competitive.
I can't imagine having one sibling, you know, being a professional athlete, but having all three. Like once you got there, did you sort of know that they would make it too?
I knew they would both make it because the mindset. Like, and I think that, so we come from a small town in Wisconsin. We had 2 Division I football players ever. One of them made it to the NFL. All that did for me was tell me it was possible. So I just had to follow a plan, and then my brothers could follow that plan. And I knew with their drive and how hard they work and how determined they were, I knew they'd make it.
You started off at Central Michigan.
Yeah.
Right? And then you went to Wisconsin as a walk-on?
Yeah.
How?
I went to Central Michigan as a tight end. I was on scholarship. I told my parents, school's paid for, don't worry about it.
Right.
But they ran the spread offense, and I only played like 10 plays a game. I was a starter my freshman year, but I had big dreams. I had big goals. I didn't want to play 10 plays a game, and that wasn't going to get me to the NFL. So I transferred to Wisconsin. I walked on. I was like, I'm going to put all my eggs in this basket. And my parents said they had enough money for 1 year of school. If I didn't get a scholarship after 1 year, I'd have to figure it out on my own. So I knew I had to make it work. And sometimes when your back's against the wall, when you don't give yourself any other option but success, that's the best way to create success. And it worked out.
Yeah, you make that sound real easy. You make it sound real easy, but
yeah,
that's unbelievably tough. And then you actually left Wisconsin after your junior year.
Yeah.
So how you go with no scholarship and then you leave early?
Yeah.
Like what did that teach you about motivation, about betting on yourself, basically?
That's exactly what it was, betting on yourself. And it was, if I put myself in a situation where there was no option but to succeed, because I literally would not have been able to stay going to school. I literally would not have been able to advance if I didn't do that. So I was watching film at 10, 11 o'clock at night with the coaches because I was on the scout team. They weren't going to watch during the day. They had starters to watch. So I was on the scout team and we were watching film at night. I was showing up early for workouts with the strength coach. I was on the scout team. I was going up against the #1 offensive line in Wisconsin. We had like 6 All-Americans. Our backup was an All-American by the time he was a senior. Like, I was going up against the best guys in the country. And I was like, if I can play against these guys, I can play against anybody. And it was every single day. Like, I'd get my ass kicked, but then I'd get up and I'd kick somebody else's ass. And then once I'd kick an All-American's ass, I was like, maybe I'm an All-American, hang on. And then I'd be like, maybe I'm a draft pick. And
you left to go to the NFL after your junior year.
Right.
How did that decision come about?
I mean, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that the fact that you get paid to do the thing you love wasn't a part of it too. Like, they told me when you submit your forms to see if you're going to get drafted, like when you're a junior, you submit the forms. And they said that I might be a late first rounder or early second rounder. Some of my coaches there were telling me that I might be a third rounder.
Mm-hmm. They trying to get you to stay in school. That's how it always goes.
Yeah. So I was like, but I know I'm going to crush the combine. I know that my film has been good. I know I'm going to interview good. So I bet on myself again. I bet on myself, went to the combine, had a really good combine, ended up getting drafted 11th overall. And I knew that I would have an opportunity to potentially set up my family for generations to come. And the risks of not having that happen, I couldn't take those risks.
That's amazing. You want me to show you the facility real quick?
Yeah, let's check it out. This place is incredible. Dude, this place is insane.
Yeah, man. So it's crazy. Like, it's so nice. You don't get so much use out of it up here.
Everything's big man friendly too. It's got big chairs, got big couches. Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, this is nice. I mean, it's designed pretty well too.
It is.
Some nice features. Perfect spot.
Yeah. The craziest thing though about this facility, and I need to ask Sarah why he did it. There's a hot tub out there, man.
I was wondering why there's no wall right there.
There's a hot tub.
Look out at the road.
There's a real hot tub that faces the road. We gotta talk to Sarah about it.
Just put you and D-Book and all the guys out there eating.
That's
chilling in the hot tub.
So at one point, aside from quarterbacks, anything like that, you was the highest earner in the league. How did you deal with the wealth, right? Like, I don't know what your bank account looked like in college, but I had $151 before I got drafted.
Oh, man.
Before I declared.
We went to a bowl game once in college, and one of my teammates, we were going to go to a party that night, and we went to the Foot Locker, and he was like, you got to get those Jordans for the party tonight. And I was like, those Jordans are like $300. So where am I going to get that? And he was like, you got per diem money. And I was like, yes, I have $300 of per diem money. You want me to spend it all on these Jordans? He convinced me. I bought them. I bought the Jordans. I had no food. I had to find my food for the rest of the week. But I was like, I did it. So my financials is a lot different now. And you're figuring it out as you go and you're putting your own spin on it. I was always going to be conservative of my money because I wanted to last forever, beyond me, for generations to come. But I also try and let myself understand that you should appreciate and enjoy what you work so hard to get. So I'm fortunate here. I live in a beautiful house here, but I also, at the same time, I drive a truck because I found a way to get a truck for free. So like I don't drive like a crazy fancy car, but I'm very lucky and I'm fortunate, but I am conscious always of trying to make sure that I'm being smart with it and not getting crazy, and also setting a good example for my brothers as well.
Do you remember what the best piece of advice you were given as far as financially?
Early on, I always tried to live off of just endorsements. I know that there's plenty of, I'm a defensive lineman, so there weren't too many of them early on, so I wasn't living that high off it. But that is something that throughout my career, I've always tried and made sure that I was bringing in enough off the field where if I didn't want to, I would never have to touch the on the field stuff.
So like, what advice would you give to a young guy coming into the league now that you've been in the league a long time?
The best advice that I ever give to young guys is invest in yourself, in your body, in your craft right now. You will never, unless you're an absolute genius, brilliant business mind, or you have some unbelievable connections, you will never have an opportunity to earn as much money for what we're about to do right now. Like, think about some of the contracts that are going on right now. Think about quarterbacks that are making $200+ million in the NFL. You have an opportunity to set yourself up with wealth that will last for generations to come. Don't worry about the lifestyle. Don't worry about everything else on the side. Worry about what can make you, A, make your team great, but also B, set yourself up financially. And it's a very difficult thing because I've been there too. I was young. I was a young guy. I know that the lifestyle is extremely enticing. I know that and I'm not saying you got to commit to it 24/7, like you have to be psychotic about it. But you do kind of got to be psychotic about it, you know?
It's always the saying, keep the main thing the main thing.
Amen.
Right? And, you giving me flashbacks here, man. Do you remember what the first thing was you bought? What was your first big purchase?
I remember the house I bought in Houston, closed on the house, took the key, drove to the house, walked through the front door, walked through the back door, jumped in the pool with all my clothes on. Because I was like, I didn't ever think I couldn't conceptualize having my own house, and I was like, this is mine. I just jumped in my own pool. Jumped. That was the coolest thing ever for me. And then being able to buy my mom a car and being able to buy my parents a house, there's no feeling like that.
There's no feeling. Like, people probably see me wouldn't know that I used to have Escalade with 26-inch rims, spinning rims. I had a drop-down TV in it and all that stuff, man. But you get a chance to live and you learn.
No doubt. Yeah. Dude, that was like the dream car.
What?
That was the dream for a little while.
Them spree wheels, had to have them spinning wheels. Can you remember making any investment mistakes? Right, because I think, you know, whenever you talk to people about money, which is so crazy, I always ask, I do grassroots basketball, right? So AAU programs. I always pick a kid in the room and I say, what would you do with $1 million? And it's always the kid who thinks that they're giving the smart answer and they be like, well, I'm going to invest it.
Right.
Well, you don't always make money when you invest, right? Have you ever had any situations where you like, damn, wish I wouldn't have did that, but you learn from it?
Right. I haven't had any big, massive mistakes yet in terms of losses, like of money. I mean, I'm always going to invest an amount that if it went to zero immediately, I'd be safe, you know? Right. But the one thing that I am frustrated by is there's this company called Athletic Brewing. It's a non-alcoholic brewing company. And I had a chance to get in very early. I'm talking very early. And I sat there and I was talking about non-alcoholic beer, and I'm from Wisconsin. Everybody in Wisconsin drinks, crazy. You know? So I'm like, I got my buddies and I'm bouncing the idea off them, and they're like, why the hell would anybody drink beer with no alcohol? And I was like, I don't know, but these numbers look really good, man. Like, people are buying it. But like, I convinced myself not to do it in the early round. And a year later, it was 3-4x, and I got in the next round, but I always kicked myself about not believing in myself.
That's definitely happened to me before. Oh, and you just sort of got to let it go, and sometimes you look at your financial advisor and you say, it's your fault. It's your fault.
And the problem was I had somebody that was telling me, you got to do it, you got to do it. And I shoved them off, and now I have to like look them in the eyes because they went in on the first one, and I got to apologize and be like, you're right.
So for you, over your years in the league, you done got a ton of awards. What do you think you're the most proud of?
It has to be the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, because that's the one that hundreds of thousands of millions of people helped me get. It wasn't me. It's not me. I mean, I was the facilitator. I started the fundraiser for Harvey, and I was the guy who coordinated it, but it was people like you. It was people like the kids from Pennsylvania that had a lemonade stand that sent in their money to the charity. It was people from Germany and London and people from all over sending it. So it wasn't me. That's the award that feels like the community helped me get the most.
The fact that you raised over $40 million, how did that impact you? How did that change you?
When I started the fundraiser, I literally was trying to raise $100,000. Like, I put 100 of my own in, and I said, I want to raise 100 more to match it. And the first celebrity, the first famous person, the first person to call me was you with a donation. And I'll tell people that in every interview for the rest of my life, that you set off the foundation for everybody else. And we raised over $40 million, and it was insane. People from all over the country, all over the world were donating and showing their support. And it was an experience I'll never experience again in my life. And I hope that we never have to go through things like that again. But never have I had more hope in humanity than I had during that time.
The communities that we play in are who support us, you know? So when I saw all the work that you was doing, I was inspired. I'm forever grateful for everything that you did there, man.
It was a wild time, and it was, man, you want to talk about hectic. That was the most hectic couple months ever. We were in the middle of training camp, and I'd have practice meetings during the day, and then at night we'd be meeting with charities and politicians and FEMA and Red Cross, and we're trying to figure out exactly how to do it and to make sure that you're doing it properly, man. It was a wild time. It's something I hope I never have to go through again, but I also learned so much from it. And we helped so many people because of the generosity of others.
And while everyone remembers that, it started for you in college, right? You started your J.J. Watt Foundation when you were in college.
Yeah.
And one of your biggest mottos is dream big, work hard, right?
Yeah.
You believe that's what it takes to succeed?
Yeah, I mean, my parents taught me from an early age to have big dreams. They always said, feel free to dream big, feel free to think about whatever you want to be, but you have to be willing to work hard. You have to be willing to make the sacrifices and have the discipline. And my role model for the charity was Myron Rolle. He was a Florida State safety, and he started a charity while he was in college. And I remember watching the story on ESPN, and they were talking about him and his story, and I was like, man, how is he even smart enough to know how to start a charity while he's in college? So then I started researching it, talking to the law school, and they helped me start a charity while I was in college. And Myron, to this day, is a role model of mine. Now he's a Rhodes Scholar and a doctor, and he's one of the most brilliant people out there. Yeah.
Everything. Take you down, show you what the court looked like.
Yes.
Coolest thing about this is having the women's team, you know, because it's times where we'll be in the weight room and Skylar Diggins will come in there lifting. DT will be in there lifting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think it was after we played the Bucks, we played somebody and we had an off day. And so they had just got Tina Charles on their team. And I came to the gym just to come see Tina because I knew her. And the music was on, guys from my team were shooting here, girls, some of the women were shooting over there, and it's just like one big family.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's special. Two badass teams, too.
Right.
Teams are crushing it.
We might as well scrimmage, shoot.
Right?
They super duper nice. Your wife is a professional soccer player.
Yeah. She's awesome, man. She's incredible.
What do you think it's going to take to get female, women, professional sports more and more notoriety?
I think the more people talk about it, the more people watch it, the more people show up. I mean, you obviously do an unbelievable job with showing up to the WNBA. My wife and I will sit around the dinner table at night and we'll talk about the NWSL and we'll talk about how can this be bigger? Is there a team that we can buy or invest in? Is there a way that we can influx capital into it to make it work? Is capital the answer? Is there a way the viewership needs to get better by creating a grounds roots? Like, if I had the answer, I would do it immediately.
Right.
But I know the conversations are the most fun to have because it's you know it's coming, and it's just a matter of how we continue to prop it up and build it up.
What do you think is next as far as like investments or what? Not like what you're going to invest in, but what do you think?
Yeah, I really enjoy investing. I think it's another way to be competitive outside of the field. Like you can look through decks and you can try and pick them apart and try and see where the fakes are and where the real quality things are. And then it's also things you're passionate about. I have been looking at team ownership to see if that's something that's a possibility for me. And not in the sense that I just want to slap my name on a 1% of a team and be like, hey, look at me, I'm part of it.
You want to be involved.
I want to be involved. I want to be trying to help make those decisions and use the athlete's perspective to give what I think can benefit the organization. And I think it would be really cool if that space was in the women's space.
What year for you?
11, going on 12.
This is 17, right?
That's crazy, man.
17. So what's crazy is you want to love, especially playing for that long. And hell, 12 is real long in the NFL. So playing for this long, you want to enjoy.
Yes.
If I'm going to be away from my family.
Yes, I better enjoy it.
Exactly. Have you ever thought about, I'm not asking you to retire, but do you ever think about that as far as like head injuries and trauma and stuff like that? Have you ever thought about like?
Yeah, I've definitely thought about retirement. I think I probably thought about it too early at one point. I mean, I started thinking about the possibility of that when I was 26, you know, just because you know you can't play forever and you start to consider when that day might come. But I also, on the flip side of that, every time that it ever creeps into my head, I'm a competitor, man. I'm a competitor and I want to win. I want to leave this game with a damn trophy. And
I respect that.
And there's still stuff that I feel like I'm capable of doing and accomplishing and being and leading. And I don't ever want to look back and say, man, I wish I would have, or I wish I could have. And the injuries and the things that come with the game, and I mean, I've dealt with them more than I wish I would.
Right.
But I know the consequence, and I know what the possibility is, and I'm willing to accept that right now to keep going. And once that line crosses and it flips to where I'm not willing to accept it, that'll be the day. But right now, I'm willing to accept the pain and everything, try to get the glory.
I respect the hell out of that too. I do. And it's
what about you? I want to ask you the same question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll answer it for me.
No, I will. And it's funny. I still love to play like it's like my rookie year, like when I was 5 years old. And I live away from my family. And just about every day, you know, and I wake up and I'm not there with my wife and my kids. I'm like, man, is this really worth it? Right? And I mean, I got friends that aren't playing, friends that are retired that I talk to about it all the time. And they always tell me, you know what, it's gonna be one day when you wake up and you really can't play. And if you still love the game like that, then you gotta play. And I think my kids and my wife, I don't think they would like who I would be if I was home and I can't play basketball. I still love it too much, right? And if that does change, like you said.
That's the other question, though, is that when that day does come, you've spent 20 plus years. It's going to be...
JJ, I don't care
what's it gonna look like?
How many investments I have or anything like that. I'm worried about that day.
No question. I'm with you.
Very much worried about that day.
You.
And well, when that day is come, I'm gonna call you. You can call me, but we're gonna have to talk about it.
We'll do something together.
Exactly.
We'll play golf or something.
Exactly. Speaking of risk, you hosted SNL.
Yeah.
You hosted SNL. Yeah. How was that? And is there any parallel to, live television and sports?
It was cool, man. It was the best. It was a wild week. It was a wild experience, but it was an absolute blast. I mean, I'm an athlete. I'm a competitor. I go out on a field and people cheer when I make a play, and that's the best feeling in sport that you can get.
Right.
Going onto a stage like that, staring out in an audience and just hoping like hell I can make them laugh was scary. But at the same time, once you do get that laugh, it's the exact same feeling as getting a sack or scoring a touchdown. There is no better feeling than that.
No redos either.
No, and it's live, and you can't screw up, man. And it was with so many talented people around you, and it's just like a team because everybody's collaborating and everybody's trying to pull their line off the exact right way to get that laugh and to get that pop. And man, it was a really cool experience, and I hope I get to do it again because I loved it. And I realized that live performing to me is a blast, and I wish there's a way to work that in because I really loved it.
Well, you got a job right now that's live every time you play, so you stick with that for right now, man. And so I read that you're a huge fan of the EPL, English Premier League.
Yeah, I love it.
Would you want to invest in it at some point? Or ownership?
It would be incredible, but man, over there with soccer, with money, with how it all goes down. It's a different world.
You are Chelsea,
yeah,
right?
I'm a Chelsea guy. I started in 2011. Didier Drogba was at Chelsea, and I started getting into the Premier League, and I used to play with him on Ivory Coast on FIFA. So I was like, wherever Didier is,
that'll get you every time.
And so, yeah, I'm a big Chelsea fan, but man, it would be incredible to invest over there, but it's such, with relegate, that's what makes it so exciting is that you can get relegated. Imagine being dropped out of the NBA if you were in the bottom three. That.
Oh.
It's mind-blowing.
It is, which makes you have to be competitive.
It's unbelievable.
You have to stay competitive.
And that's what keeps it so interesting. And I don't even think a model like that nobody would let it happen over here, but that's what makes it so exciting over there.
That's super dope. I think that's why it's always dope in thinking about ownership, with athletes or whatnot, because you know what it takes. You know what I mean? Not just from the performance standpoint, but you know what it's like. The locker room needs to be like coaches and everything.
Right. Yeah. You gonna be an owner someday?
I would love to. I would love to be a governor of one of these teams. That's a goal of mine. Man, I appreciate you again, man. You know it, definitely.
We'll catch up soon.